So as you see the candle here lit, that candle is lit in honor of our family members who have passed on. And we pause right now to remember them. All of the Hankinsons, the Joneses, the Carpenter souls, who once were with us, but now have passed on to their eternal place of rest. We honor those in our families who were so dear to us and who unselfishly gave themselves away by giving us life. They raised us, they trained us all, and they taught us. These are the ones who helped us to become who we are today. Am I right?
Amen.
All right. Without them, we wouldn't be here, and for that alone, we should all be truly thankful. These family members, I believe, are our heroes because they were strong, they were smart, they were faithful and dedicated, and they believed in working hard, in being honest, and providing for their families. They loved the Lord, and they believed in getting an education and doing your best. These were just good, down-to-earth people. Now, Carolyn said I had to name some people. I was going to do that because I don't know everybody. Y'all know that. I'm in a young group, so I'm just here learning anyway. But I got to name a few names, so I hope I don't skip anybody that I shouldn't skip. But anyway, these are the good people in our families that started it all as far back as we can remember. I can remember. People like Papa Simon, Mama Lena. I might not know all that, Carol. Papa Simon, Mama Lena Hankinson, Papa Sam Jones, Mom Mary Jones, Daddy Rube Hankinson, Mama Anna Hankinson, Uncle Caesar, Aunt Clara Jones, Uncle Sam Jones Jr., Aunt Sadie Jones, Sam Jones III, William Carpenter Sr., Carrie Carpenter, Coleman Carpenter, Francis Carpenter, Cousin Velma, Uncle Jerry, Mama Jane, Bruh, Uncle Bo, Evelyn, Phil, and Baby Junior. They are our heritage. And they started us a legacy. And that legacy we must continue and instill it in our future generations that are to come behind us. So may we always remember our family heroes and the many memories that they have given us. And as I close, Kelly is going to read a poem that her father wrote in honor of our family members. Amen.
We are family. As we remember our loved ones who have gone on before, let us not forget the memories that will forever endure. Memories we have of love, hope, and life. Memories of a mother, a daughter, a wife. Memories of a father, a brother, a son. Memories of good times second to none. Thank you, God, for my family members that have gone on before. Thank you for the memories we cannot ignore. Thank you, Lord, for their wisdom, guidance, and love. They were like angels sent from above. In closing, the last thing we want to say is we love you and miss you every single day.
Amen. We will now have family introductions by Angela Carpenter Milligan.
She got put on the I really have nothing planned to say, but I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out and for us to know the importance of us getting together and getting to know one another. Just coming here, we noticed a few faces that are familiar, that we didn't know we were related. I live probably 15 minutes away from a cousin that I had no idea I lived that close to in Aiken. My son went to high school with one of his cousins and didn't even know it. So I just want everyone to kind of get to know one another, mix and mingle, people that you don't know, get to know. I would ask that if all the Hankinsons would stand so we can kind of know who the Hankinsons are instead of Glenn. call the Joneses would stand, please. There's food involved, so my family's here. All the Carpenters. So if you notice the name tags, everyone's name is written in a certain color, so you'll know who's in what family. So just thanks for coming out and enjoy the rest of the cookout. So next we're going to have the family history. The family history first will be the Jones family by Barbara Jones Coleman.
Don't be intimidated by this large folder, man. I saw Debbie looking at me when I came by. But I have two tasks today, and you will have to blame Carolyn for that, because she gave me this additional task so that you all won't think I'm trying to hawk all the time. I'm going to talk about our very beginning with Papa Sam, and we call Papa Sam and Mama Mary, that's Sam Jones Sr. And she also told me that because we have so many young people, she wanted me to let them know about Jones Dairy, right, which was historic in itself. Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with what I know about Papa Sam and Mama Mary. Count these papers, definitely. This is not as lengthy, you see all these papers, but you know, without my glasses, I'm trying to be cute and can't read, so I had to get a quick read. So that's why I got so many pages. So, and my eyes hold up, and somebody has to give me some glasses.
Mama, don't forget to tell me you was Papa Sam.
I was going to skip all past that. What was it like for a black person in South Carolina and Georgia in 1884? Was there freedom, or was the American flag still in slavery? On January 18th, 1884, Sam Jones Sr. was born. I regret to say that I do not have a lot of early data, and most of my information came from Papa Sam himself, my daddy, Big Junior, Dot, Anna, you know, all our family, just hearing snatches, you know, here and there. But most of my information begins at the age of 6. At the age of 6, Papa Sam, whose mother's name was Fanny Jones, was left, and I do not know if this was a voluntary or a forced separation, but based on the times and the history, I would venture to say, not having heard anything else, that it was a forced separation. But at the age of 6, Papa Sam was left at the Mackey Plantation, which at that time was located on the upper end of Martintown Road near I-20. This is the area near North Augusta, where the North Augusta High School is now, the Waffle House, and that large service station that you encounter when you get ready to get on I-20 going either east or west. Papa Sam told me that he had to sleep on a cot on the back porch, and that his major responsibility was to work with the cows and to do any other tasks that he was told to do. He never said if he saw his mother or any other family members. This was his life 24/7. And he told me that he wanted to go to school. But after playing with the other 6-year-old white child in the house, he asked why wasn't he getting ready, why was he not able to get ready to go to school? And he was told, and this is his quote, that he was told by the owner that niggers do not go to school. What a sad commentary for an innocent child, through no fault of his own, was reminded that he was property and not a real person. How does that change someone? Papa remained on this farm throughout his teen years, and at some point, he was sent by the owner to Waynesboro, Georgia, to work for another family who owned a dairy. On this new farm, the owner's son was very close to Papa and spent a great deal of time with him. That son liked to hunt, and one afternoon, they went out hunting, and the boy, attempting to cross a fence with his gun at an odd angle, the gun went off and killed him. Papa had no responsibility for this, yet the whites in the area wanted to lynch him. However, through the grace of God, the boy's father spoke up for him and stated that he did not believe that Papa would hurt his son, and that he truly believed it was an accident. However, with his life in danger, he had to leave and return to North Augusta. Excuse me if I get emotional. That's all right. After his return to North Augusta, Papa became friendly with the family of Zach and Mary Madison. Zach and Mary Madison came to North Augusta from what is now known as the Columbia County area. They were the parents of 11 children, with 8 living children at that time. One of their daughters, also named Mary, would later marry Papa Sam. This Madison family were early entrepreneurs because they purchased numerous acres of land by saving their money from selling jelly, baked goods, vegetables, canned foods, lighter woods, and anything else they saw that the public had a need for. They purchased land from private individuals and from the North Augusta Land Company. And I'd like to let you know that these records are in the books at the Aiken County Courthouse and are public records for anyone who would like to look at them. This land was purchased near the 5 Notch Road area, Celeste Avenue, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, H-E-I-L, Howe Avenue, and the Plank Road area. At the time of their death, they were able to leave property for all of their children, which was very, very unusual at that time. The Madison children could read and write, which was another uncommon thing during that time when black children could not go to school. The elder Mary Madison was the individual who informed Papa Sam that he had a brother by the name of Will Carpenter. In view of the fact that Papa had lived away from his family with so little contact with blood relatives, it became apparent to all that he was overwhelmed and joyful to connect with his brother. Papa Sam began to date little Mary, and soon afterwards, Sam Jones and Mary Madison married and had 3 children. The first child was Caesar Jones, who married Clara Winters. From this union was Velma and Merwin Jones. Second child, Anna Jones, who married Ruth Hankinson. From this union, Rube Jr., Dorothy, William, whom we all call Jerry. I didn't really know his real name until I was about 40, 50 years old. Robert, whom we call Bruh, and the twins, Evelyn and Eldridge, and we always call Eldridge both. Sam Jr. married Sadie Anderson, and of that union, Roberta, Carrie, Sam Jr., which we call Zeke sometimes, Mary, Barbara, Clara, and Pat were born. In the 1910 census records, I was able to locate Papa Sam and Mama Mary with their 2-year-old son, Caesar. It is interesting to note that the census data recognized 3 categories of race. Those categories were white, black, and mulatto. In the 19 census records, Papa Sam was listed as mulatto and the remaining household members as black. The next recorded census documentation that I found was in the 1920 census, indicating that they were living on Storm Branch Road. In 1920, Caesar was listed as 12 years old, Anna was 8 years old, and Sam Jr., my father, was 7 years old. According to Daddy, He was about 5 years old when they moved to Stone Branch Road. And for those of you who do not know, Papa Sam and Ma Mary operated a dairy farm and sold raw milk. At that time, there were no regulations about having milk pasteurized. So if you own cows, you could sell what we call raw milk. They sold raw milk from a mule and wagon in the local area in Augusta, Georgia. In addition, Ma Mary also sold many other things, such as eggs, butter, canned vegetables, sweet bread, lighter wood, sassafras stalks. I know young people don't know what in the world sassafras stalks are. Okay, this is a plant that is used for medicine and other roots for brewing medications. Ma Mary was well versed in the early homemade remedies for sickness and illness, since black people did not have access to doctors as they do today. In my early years, I vividly remember her boiling sassafras stalks, lemons, and honey for our colds. And believe me, it worked. We got well. I do not know the year that Papa Sam and Uncle Will, I'm referring to Will Carpenter, I always call him Uncle Will, that's the only thing I knew to call him. However, I don't know what year they met exactly, but I do have a deed that reads as follows. A 300-acre tract was conveyed to Sam Jones Jr., Sr. and William Carpenter by deed of Limas Milligan, dated November 10, 1917, recorded entitled Book 28, page 170, Aiken County Public Records. On January 10, 1923, William Carpenter conveyed his one-half interest in the property to Sam Jones Jr. by deed, recorded entitled Book 41, page 160 in the Aiken County Records. This is the property off of Atomic Road, known as the CC Road. For someone who was taken from his black family at the tender age of 6, for someone who was free slave labor in a cruel system where he was treated and identified as property, for someone who was raised in a subhuman environment, for someone who was wrongly accused of killing a white person and that person caused their own death, for someone who faced the stark reality that they could be lynched by the simple word of a white person's whim. How awesome that God placed inside of him something strong and powerful that allowed him to rise above his circumstances. He could have decided that he was a nobody, yet he never allowed his circumstances to define what he knew without any family support whatsoever, and what was the greatness that was inside of him. He rose above all the adversities of racism and created a business, a home, raised 3 children, and in those 3 children, he created in them the positive side of knowing who they were and what they were capable of doing. When Aiken County decided that they would build a grade school in the Stone Branch area, but that they did not have in their budget, nor would they put in their budget, any money to buy land to build this school on, Papa Sam donated 2 acres so that children in the Stone Branch community would have a school to attend. Aiken County built a 2-room school with 4 grades in each room and 1 teacher in each room. That was even the beginning of my early education. I went to that school, as my other son Hank, we all know about that school. Okay, the teachers, they lived in Augusta, so during the week they had to board with Papa Sam and Ma Mary. Papa Sam also learned the art of cruising timber. Now, for children who don't know what that means, this is very important. This was not a black man's knowledge, nor was he supposed to have that. If you have acreage, timber acreage, you get someone in to decide which trees need to be cut, because that's what they call harvesting, so that every 7 years you can cut the timber, what the timber is worth,
What is the profit margin on it for the person who's selling it and for the company? How much the wood was worth and what was the value? This too was a situation which was totally a rarity for a black man to have. A lot of us in this place today are a product of Sam Jones Sr. and Mary Madison Jones. I leave you, especially the children, with this task. Go back into your history book. Go to Google if you choose. Place yourself in the time of 1884. Forget about today, all the luxuries that you know and all the rights that you have. Look at slavery and the laws that were not for us. And tell me, if you could walk in his shoes and become the man that he was. I think not. I don't think you could do it. I can say that I know for me, I could not do it. It is just sometimes unreal that he could do what he did. And to this day, we all continue to benefit from his legacy. Papa died in 1980 at the age of 98. Okay, this is going to be a little lighter, y'all, because that was kind of hard.
Great.
Because some of that we lived through. Big Junior died, we all lived through. You all know about it. Okay, my father was named Sam Jones. And as I've said before, Sam Jones Jr. grew up on a farm owned by his father and mother, Mary Madison and Sam Jones. Early in Daddy's life, and he told me he was 14 years old, and Papa confirmed this, he told my Mary and Papa Sam that he would never work for another man. He would always work for himself. Early in his life, he worked at his father's dairy where they sold raw milk, and they sold this from a mule and wagon, as I said before. While working for his father and delivering milk in Augusta, Georgia, he met his future wife, Sadie Anderson Jones, and they were married in 1934. They began their partnership with an independent farmer with one cow. In 1937, Daddy discovered that a Mr. Ledbetter, who was a white dairy owner down in Langley, South Carolina, wanted to sell all of his cows and his milk route. Daddy purchased this operation and expanded his business into the valley. And for those of you who don't know what the valley means, that was a racist stronghold, Ku Klux Klan area. However, many of the valley residents assumed that he was simply an employee of Mr. Ledbetter. And this was vividly demonstrated when he was asked by one of his customers who he worked for. When he replied, "For myself, I work for myself," he said. She said to him, "Where does a nigga get money from to buy a dairy? Don't bring me no more nigger milk." And all the valley people who were taking milk from him, once the word got around, they decided not to. So Daddy, being the person that he was not going to let that stop him. He expanded into Augusta. Even in the face of segregation, hatred, he maintained a positive attitude with hard work, persistence, demonstration, and smooth, shrewd business practices. In addition to discrimination with customers, he also endured the hostility and demonstration from the South Carolina Dairy Commissioner, who had the ability to shut the business down. They held him to a higher standard, and they went out of their way, which Big Junior knows about this very well, to find various violations that they could apply only to him. When he would ask the other farmers, other white dairymen in the area, they were like, what are you talking about? That's not a regulation. With limited education, he educated himself in business, engineering, construction, electricity, finances, and all other areas that would allow him to maintain a level of independence, thereby limiting his reliance upon white society. After struggling for many years, the dairy showed signs of brighter tomorrow. However, tragedy struck at the height of prosperity. A lightning storm one night caused a raging fire to consume the entire structure. With no fire department assistance, the family tried desperately to save the business. They were able to save cows, and at that point, Papa Sam, the cow, Dad took all the cows and everything down to Papa Sam's and continued the business from there. When Daddy did have insurance, and when the insurance people came, they told Daddy that he set it on fire and they were not going to pay. And there was no recourse. But Daddy was determined that he was going to pick up the debris and start over again. As a man who believed in giving back to the community and who wanted to help other people realize that it was possible to succeed in a segregated society, he employed many persons in the local area. This enabled them to earn a little bit of money, and then also see it demonstrated that no matter what your circumstances and conditions are, you have the ability to rise above that. Right. And one of Daddy's favorite sayings to all of us was, work won't kill nobody, so you need to get up and get going.
That's right. Okay.
Challenged by the everyday problems that befell a business in segregated society, Daddy was a man of boundless energy, who was liked by all and a stranger to no man. His dairy operation was known for having milk with the thickest cream on top, for the handsome Hankinson brothers as drivers. And let me tell you all this, we are not sure whether people brought milk from us or was brought milk because of Big Junior and Jerry. Jerry and Big Junior were our drivers, and people would call and say, we want to take milk for them people, you know what, them fine men driving the truck. So Debbie, we prepared him for the little Debbie truck.
Not to mention we sitting on the ice in the truck selling the milk with them. Yeah, we remember that.
We prepared Jerry for that, okay?
Yeah, when I took you and Mary and Pat with me, I had a lot of boys too.
But that was the truck, and the business was known for the handsome Hankinson boys. I mean, but they were so fine. I was look at them, they really that fine. Yeah, they are that fine. Okay, Jones Dairy would deliver milk to hundreds of homes and stores in the local LBC area, Aiken and Augusta. And let me tell you what we did, what we delivered on the milk truck. We sold the following products: pasteurized milk. That's when cream comes to the top. And you young people probably have never seen that. You see cream in a separate container. But with pasteurized milk, the cream rises to the top. Homogenized milk is like the milk you see in the store now, where the cream does not rise to the top. We sold buttermilk, orange drink, chocolate milk. And let me tell you the story behind the chocolate milk. Daddy created an alliance with the white dairy, Haskell Dairy, which is down on Old Aiken Road, for a trade. Haskell bottled chocolate milk in his dairy. Daddy bottled buttermilk. Haskell wanted buttermilk, so Daddy said, okay, I'll bottle your buttermilk if you bottle chocolate milk for me and I can sell chocolate milk. So that just expanded what we had to sell. We also sold butter. Now let me tell you about butter. I just need to say this. We had to churn it. When I say we, I'm talking about the children, mother. I don't think Daddy churned in the butter. I never see Dad and Junior, my brother Junior, churn butter. But all the girls and mother, what we have to do, you have to churn butter. Now y'all look up churn when you go home. See how much work that is, okay? We had to work all the milk out of the butter, and then we had to bottle it. We had to put it in little tubs. Just like you see some of the stuff in the grocery store now in tubs.
We put it in a pound.
You put it in a little pound, in 1 pound tubs is what we put it in. And then we also later added a dairy operation. I mean eggs, with eggs. We had eggs. And then, okay, you know, we had chicken houses. Now you know what that means. I didn't tell y'all too much. Smell too. Okay, in 1970, Daddy decided to sell all the milking operation in the dairy cows, and then he became a beef cattle rancher. So I was like, this is a man of many, many facets. I'm telling you, so from that point on until his death, Daddy was raising beef cows. Just about finished off. Okay, really what this story says to us is that just starting off with a special relationship with God, if you keep your faith in God and follow your dreams as to what you want. Daddy and Mother were married for 62 years. They worked side by side. They started their operation with one cow, and look at what they were able to produce and turn into a successful operation. Now what I do, I do have some copies of what I read, and I'm going to leave them with anybody, any family members who would like them. Yeah. They can take them and have them. And I also want to tell you that 2 years ago, Bill Babb, who is a writer for the Chronicle, he does sports and stuff for the Chronicle, I think mostly fishing. He wrote a book called Augusta on Glass. And this is the story of dairies in Aiken, Columbia, and Richmond counties. And I'm proud to say that we are the only black dairy that's in here. I'm going to pass this book around because the story in here is more extensive than what I was able to say here. And also we didn't have any bottles that we could give and make pictures, but you'll see the bottle caps that we had to put on the milk. Because the operation with the milk, for those who don't understand it, was you had all this milk in a large vat. It will come up over a cooling board, come down over a board that looked like a washboard. It will come down and cool, and it will go into this tank, and around the tank you put the bottles, and it will come around and cap the bottles. It was really kind of a fascinating operation. So I'll leave that with everybody. And I appreciate you all being so patient. I know I had a lot, but Carolyn made me do it.
That's great.
Wait, come on. Give me a couple of napkins, please. I don't know why my hand up in there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Well, is this recording? This is recording. This is recording everything. You might get. What happened to her? What happened to her? What she had to do?
Thank you, Barbara. That was some stuff off.
Oh, it might be just ain't out.
We're not done.
Well,
next we have from the Hankinson family, Kenneth Hankinson.
What this is?
How's everybody doing? I'm not
Kayla
kidding,
sure want to know.
I'm stepping in. One of the guys, Brad, my name is Brad Hankinson. My father's Jerry Williams, but everybody calls him Jerry, sometimes Hank. And I'm just going to give you a brief, I don't have all the information that Barbara had, but I'll give you a brief history of the Hankinson family tree. And actually, the Hankinson family tree began with Monroe Williamson Sr. And Monroe was a slave under bondage for 12 years, and he